Good evening from the Central Illinois Weather Network. I'm Larry Eastep. We have a tornadic cell that is producing damage with a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground right now in portions of St. Louis Metro. You're going to look at this Stormlab image here for just a moment while I pull up the latest information just coming over the wire here from the National Weather Service, and we're going to bring this statement right up on the screen here so we can show you the details on this. This particular warning here at 7:33 p.m. National Weather Service Doppler radar was tracking a confirmed damaging tornado near Dardenne Prairie. Doppler radar is showing this tornado moving east at 25 miles an hour. Considerable structural damage has been reported in New Mel. So let's bring this in here a little closer and look at this cell we're talking about. We'll get PathCast back on here in just a moment, but let's go over to the path of this particular storm and track this out of Dardenne Prairie toward St. Louis Metro proper as it moves into these areas. Here's Dardenne Prairie here. We had a report back here in New Mel about 12 minutes ago of heavy structural damage to an area there in New Mel. Here's Dardenne Prairie. The tornado right now would likely be in this area to the south of Interstate 70, moving to the east, so we're talking St. Charles, Florissant, eventually in the path of this storm. Let's switch over here. We're having a really hard time. Here's the radar site. Let me find it here for you. The radar site is right here in Weldon Spring. We're in this radar hole right now where this tornado could be right in this area, and we can't see it from the St. Louis radar, so I'm trying to bring this in from Lincoln. We can see we're getting a return here of a mesocyclone return in the St. Louis area. Let me zoom in here a little bit closer on this cell from the Lincoln, Illinois radar looking down at St. Louis. So we're looking at about 100 miles away, but we're getting a little bit better detail of the look of this. This particular area here on the north side of this warning is looking like we're getting a lot of rotation here in this area. Right over O'Fallon right now, we're getting a mesocyclone signature, and that's coming from the Lincoln, Illinois radar looking down to St. Louis. Now let's go over here, if we can, to the velocity here and try to pick this out. Right over Dardenne Prairie, just to the east of it right now, south of St. Peter's. Any of these areas here where you see this red and green really starting to converge, let's go in a little bit closer because we're trying to pinpoint exactly where this is at for you. And this is a kind of a hard one again, right in this area here. I would say St. Peter's, you've probably got rotation over you right now between Cottleville and O'Fallon. You've got these red and green mixing here. It's very prominent, and we're being told here that spotters are confirming this now on radar, or rather on the ground. Radar's also confirming this. We're not really seeing this here where we need to on the St. Louis velocity. We can try to go up here a little bit. We're getting a lot of mixed signals here coming out of that radar out of St. Louis right now because of the intensity of these storms and where they're at. So we're not going to be able to give you a lot here. Let's look in this area, though, and see if we can see a little bit closer some of the towns affected. And yeah, we're not really seeing that here on the St. Louis radar, so let's go back over to Lincoln again and see. Okay, here we go. In the Cottleville area now, we're seeing this blue and green and red all starting to mix together. You've got rotation all the way up through St. Peter's down to just north of Weldon Spring. This is moving into St. Charles County. Eventually, this will hit the I-270 loop. We're talking in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Let's go over to Storm Predator. I want to show you this here because this cell has a lot of strength to it, and there's another tornadic cell just to the south. You can see it flashing here. Let me put this in loop mode, and we'll show you these storms really have congealed together right over St. Louis Metro. The danger here is we have a Cardinals game going on in downtown St. Louis. These storms are going to move just to the north of downtown St. Louis, but large hail is possible, and these storms with this other cell to the southwest could become even more dangerous as they move into the metro area of St. Louis. I need to click over here to another screen, and we can show you, let's go back to St. Louis's actual radar here on Stormlab, and we can show you again this the intensity of the storm stretches from up right along the Mississippi River on the north side of St. Louis all the way down to the south. We've got this other cell moving in. We have a TVS signature with it. So let's go down here. We've got overlapping tornado warnings, so it makes it a little confusing. So try to bear with me here. Let's look at this TVS signature here because this concerns me as well. This is the storm that's going to go over Metro South. This would be in the Pacific area by 8:03. We're looking at Murphy by 8:22. So this cell is going to move just to the south of the Melville area just to the north of Arnold. If it continues along its current path, and it has a TVS signature with it. We're not getting the TVS signature with this storm here, but we have confirmed reports of a tornado, a large damaging tornado on the ground. Back here again in New Mel, we had the tornado on the ground. Spotters are tracking this storm. Let me see here if we can switch over to another source. Okay, let's take this here. This is the live Earth cam from St. Louis. We can see we're looking toward the arch, so we're not seeing any lightning or anything right now. It doesn't look like people still milling around, but this is coming toward the St. Louis area. So let's go back to the Lincoln radar one more time and look at this, where we're showing this velocity. Just to the north of Cottleville right now would be the area that I would say is most likely experiencing a tornado. We've had, again, spotter reports on this. I'm looking at numerous sources here to see what we've got coming in on this. Let's switch back over, and I want to check one more time here and see if we have an update on this warning as it is in effect again for St. Charles County and St. Louis County. Movement is now slowed to the east at 20 miles an hour. So let's check this here one more time and see what we've got as far as information on this warning goes. If there's another update we can give you here before we leave this update, and let me switch over to this screen, and we can tell you this new tornado watch in effect for a number of areas is actually going to extend to 1 a.m. for much of southern Illinois. As we have additional severe storms up to the north, we'll get back to those here in just a moment. All right, let me try over here, and we'll see if we can get in a little closer on this storm to the north one more time. Again, moving to the east into St. Louis Metro around the I-270 loop. This tornado warning now, and this is a very serious situation as these storms have popped up right over the warm front this evening, and they are intense indeed. We're coming back out here to a little bit of a longer view here. Let's get this warning back up one more time. At 7:38, a confirmed damaging tornado located near Dardenne Prairie, moving east at 20 miles an hour with damage in New Mel. That is the latest on this particular storm. Other tornado warnings right now, we're switching back one more time to velocity, just watching this kind of develop on this most recent frame. These pinks, blues, and greens together. That is a serious situation there indeed, and you can see this movement. Look at this long string here of this extension of this storm with severe weather moving on into portions of Illinois now. There's a new update just coming in on the velocity. If we can go back to that, we got oranges and blues now moving into St. Charles County. So this is most likely producing a tornado still. We're looking for more of a detail here on the St. Louis radar, and we're still not getting that on the St. Louis radar like we would like to, as it being so close to the radar. But again, from Lincoln, looking down on this, we've got rotation right now. With this, let's put a pathcast on this where it's at, and this would put this in St. Peter's right now, St. Charles 802, and Florissant by 818. That's this north cell again that has a confirmed tornado with it. Let me check here one more time, see as we're getting these information updates in here, and see if we've got anything new on this warning. And we're still looking at this. National Weather Service calling this a damaging tornado moving toward Weldon Spring. Again, this warning in effect until 8:15 p.m. this evening. St. Peter's is in the path of this storm, as well as many parts of northern metro St. Louis. Another storm moving in from the south. We'll keep an update on it. Be back with you shortly.